Two craftsmen carried a mold and joined it with another. Clay was successfully filled into the mold and compacted with a pneumatic hammer. Afterward, the mold was flipped over and placed on bricks. The mold was then opened, revealing the clay inside, which resembled a cake. This clay structure is the inner model to support the cast iron pot during the molten iron casting. Once the inner model dried, two craftsmen lifted it onto bricks and combined it with the lower mold of the pot. Next, the upper mold of the pot was placed on top. The craftsman then poured charcoal into the furnace, which acts as a reducing agent to minimize iron loss due to oxidation. The iron rods melted into molten iron, and after skimming off impurities, the molten iron was poured into a dry pot. The craftsman carefully carried the pot filled with molten iron and poured it into the molds until it overflowed from the mold's opening. The excess residue was removed, and the upper mold was removed. The lower mold was flipped and left to cool. This is how the pot, resembling a flying saucer, was formed. The craftsman used shovels to remove the clay from inside the pot. Thus, a large cast iron stew pot was completed. The pot was then sent for grinding, where the craftsman used hand grinders to smooth out the pot's irregular edges to ensure it wouldn't scratch the skin during use. After grinding, the pot was carried to a cleaning station. Any dust produced during grinding was washed off, and the pot was rinsed with water. A blowtorch was then used to dry the pot's surface, evaporating any remaining moisture. Finally, a layer of oil was applied to the pot's surface. The oil acts as a protective coating to prevent rust and corrosion. After the oil was applied, the blowtorch was used again to heat the surface, causing the pot to develop a black protective layer. This layer makes the pot more durable. What do you think of this extensive cast iron pot process? If the maximum score is 10, how many points would you give it?